Everyone, what's up? So yeah, just gonna do a quick video. This one hopefully won't be too long. This one's really detailing how to download all of the prerequisites. So hopefully it won't take too long. So let's go into the server. I like to download the software on the Azure server. Azure has a much higher bandwidth than your local network, unless you got a crazy connection. But Azure has ridiculous speeds. So what I do is I push Windows Q, and then I open Internet Explorer. Now, on Windows Server, they lock down Internet Explorer like crazy. So I'm not going to use the recommended settings. I'm literally going to turn everything off. I talk about protection and stuff like that. I mean, you wouldn't do this in a production environment, but for me, the thing is, Microsoft made Internet Explorer so restrictive, you literally can't do anything. You cannot even go onto Microsoft sites and download things with these settings. It's not very user friendly. It's pretty much forcing the users into a corner for me. So ultimately, what I want to do is I want to disable all this and then move away from Internet Explorer. I just think it's rubbish. So what I'm going to do is disable all of this, and I'm then going to download Chrome, and I'll use Chrome as my browser of choice. I'm sure there are probably security flaws in that strategy, but I don't care. Yeah, for me to now manually, you can see, manually maintain all of these settings, and then it's like, you've got so much other stuff on your plate as an AX consultant. You don't really have time to worry about a poorly designed security settings from Microsoft. You'll just move to a competitor, right? So, and that's what I do. So you can see all these wonderful settings, which if you leave it at the default, literally you cannot download a single thing that I'm asking you to download as part of this video. Look, I can understand Microsoft's position, but it's an old way of doing things, and I'm not sure if the new server addresses this issue, but yeah, this is my strategy to deal with it. So I just turn all of that off, and then I literally go download Chrome. And all of these wonderful bollocks. I don't know why it's looking Turkey. Is that Turkey? I don't know. It's weird. It's because Bing's also rubbish, to be fair. It always gives me poor search results. It's Singapore, and that's because my region is on the my VM region is Southeast Asia. Cool. Just gonna run it. I'm sure there's some security nuts out there, and you might have a few issues. If you can recommend a better way of dealing with it, some easy way of managing all of the crazy Internet Explorer settings, let me know. But yeah, for now, this is my solution. Cool. Okay, so now we need to download a whole bunch of stuff. That's strange. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to download a whole heap of software. So let's make a quick list here of the software we want to download. So the software we want to download is SharePoint 2013 SP1. We want to get AX 2012 R3. We also want to get cumulative update. I think the latest one might be 11. And we want to get Visual Studio. We can get at a later point. What else do we need? Management reporter, we can get at a later stage too. So I think for now, that should be grand. SharePoint, AX 2012, and CU11. So let's do that. So let's go back into the server. And what I'm going to do is just download SharePoint 2013 SP1. Please, please, please put in SP1 there. And don't just download the service pack, download it with SP1. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to download this. It'll come through. While we're doing that, we're going to go into MSDN. I know they've changed MSDN now into Visual Studio or something. I don't know. They're always changing things, right? So I don't know if this is going to be as easy as I hope, but let's see what the story is. Okay. No. Okay, I'm not going to save it because I don't know what the story is with this box, who's going to be using it in the future. So, good news. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. They've updated it now to Visual Studio. Yeah, but I should hopefully still be able to download AX from here. Indeed I can. So we're going to just throw in AX 2012. So you'll need an MSDN subscription. Yeah, if you don't have one, yeah, sorry for you. Yeah, look, Microsoft locks this stuff down, right? So you're gonna need to hustle an MSDN subscription from your company. You're gonna have to purchase it. You'll have to apply for BizSpark maybe, but ultimately you need an MSDN subscription to get this ISO. Okay, and you can also get the license. So I'm gonna download the license. And it's gonna download there. Cool. And we're gonna get AX 2012 R3. You can see the release date was like what, 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. So this is the base package, and then we're gonna install with it the cumulative update, the latest one, and that'll roll all the changes that have occurred since that release date till current date, which is currently it's the 15th of December, almost Christmas. We're not going to install any Windows updates until everything's working. Multiple times in the past, people have installed updates halfway through a build, and then it's wiped the build, right? And then they've got to start again. And I mean, it generally takes 2 days to get a system up and running. So to then restart that, it's a nightmare you don't want to have to deal with. Check how crazy fast Azure is. I mean, that's nuts, right? That's 3.3 gigs. I mean, that's some crazy speed. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get the cumulative update. I think you can get these off Lifecycle Services. So let me just check here. Microsoft Lifecycle Services. So Lifecycle Services is Microsoft's kind of, I guess what they want to do is help people implement AX easier. And this is kind of their way to help do it. It's cool, to be honest. Yeah, I think like it's a good idea. I think they're slowly improving it over time. Hasn't really had a mass adoption that I've seen. I mean, some people, I'm not sure, some people have it. I'm just logging in with my personal email address because all of this licensing and username and things with Microsoft can get a bit confusing, and you've got to get special licenses to get access to Lifecycle Services versus this, and so sometimes you just got to play around with. I know I've got access, I just don't know which account I've got access on. I'm hoping I have access on this one, but it doesn't look like it. Normally there'd be a download section, yeah, which means I don't have access on that. So let me try with my personal account. Okay, so now you can see there's a whole bunch of other extra stuff here. So let me just see here quickly. CU11. Yeah, you need to have a project, I think, to download. So you need to have created a, yeah, you have to create a project before you can download the updates. Okay, so if I go look at updates, I can then download, oh, CU12. How exciting. I don't think I've played with that yet, so that'll be a nice little thing to play with. So that's going to download. Now ultimately we got all of the stuff. There's another thing I just noticed there, that potentially we could download, which is, let me just go back to the home, downloadable tools. While we're here, we might as well get, I can't remember now whether AX 2012 with the CUs allows you to install this from the ISO. I'm not sure, so let's just get this just in case. This test data transfer tool is pretty cool in like non-production environments. I quite enjoy that too. But we shouldn't need it. If we need it at a later stage, we'll just come in and get it. But yeah, that should be grand to get us going. So yeah, so now we've got our tools. I mean, what I like to do is, I mean, it's just best practice if you're working on a multi server box. So I just make I call this software. So currently everything's downloaded to my downloads folder, but let's say for example this wasn't a single server box and we had multiple clients, and let's say we had 5 different computers or servers connected to this domain. I'd want to create a shared directory so everyone could access all of the shared software. So normally what I do is I create a software folder and then I just share that to the network. I'd restrict it to administrators or the tech team. Good practice. You don't have to do it. I mean, this is a single server box, so we don't really need to do it. But it's good practice. So you're cool. Yeah, and that's it really. I mean, now we've downloaded all of our stuff. Now we can actually start the installation and start really cracking on with, I guess, getting the system up and running. So that's all in the first stage. I think maybe what I'll do is label this as prerequisites, and now we've got the foundation ready with which we can now go in and install a fully functioning AX system. So let's leave it at that for today, and then the next video will be installing the wonderful world of SharePoint 2013. How exciting. Cool. See you then. Ciao.